the hours. Yes. You stay in as long as you feel like you can. The pay does not add up to the amount of work that you do. I think that that causes public accounting to be toxic.
Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are serving. Colossians 3:23-24.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Nicole and I'm so happy you clicked on this video. So in today's video, I am going to be talking about public accounting. Is public accounting toxic? So yeah, if you're interested in learning more about public accounting or just want to watch the video, make sure you go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We are on our way to 3,000 subscribers and I'm super excited for us to get there. So I have been in public accounting for 2 years now and I'm getting ready to go into my third busy season. And I don't know about you guys, but I have found public accounting to be good and bad. There is the good stuff about public accounting, but I wanted to address some of the toxicity, I don't even know if that's a word, but some of the toxic traits of public accounting. And I want to talk about this just because I know there are a lot of you guys who have just gotten offers, who are going to be starting in January or who are going to be interning coming up. And I don't want this video by any means to deter you from starting in public accounting, but I just think these are a few things that people don't necessarily share and talk about that I feel like I want to share with you guys in case you are interested or just so you can be aware of it. So, one of the first things that I think makes public accounting a little bit toxic is the hours. Yes, the fact that these hours are normalized, I think it's ridiculous. Yes, the job has to be done. Yes, the clients need this to be done. That's why they're paying us for. But the fact that you have to work 50 plus hours a week and it's kind of mandatory, I think that that's just ridiculous. But of course it has to be done. So I don't know if you guys are aware, but pretty much in public accounting, when it's busy season or if you are on a deadline or something like that, you are expected to work 50 plus hours. So when it's in a mid-tier firm, you work minimum 50 to 55 hour weeks. That's what's on your schedule, especially during busy season. And then if you are in a big four, they say the 50-55 hours, but get ready to put in more than 50 hours a week. And that's just due to the nature of the client and the work that has to be done. What I found in big four, of course, you're working on more Fortune 500 bigger clients, so there's more work to be done. And depending on your team size and the extent of the work, it's just gonna take you a longer time to do things. And then in a mid-tier firm, you have a middle-sized team. The clients are more like mid-level, and mostly are private clients, but still with the amount of work and the deadlines around it, you're just gonna have to work later hours. And that brings me to my next thing, is the pay. The pay does not add up to the amount of work that you do. So, which is why I've always even contemplated if I should become a contractor during busy season, because literally what you would otherwise make in 6 months of the year, and this is pre-tax, you could make it within one busy season. So within 3 months, you can literally make the salary of what you would make in 6 months if you are a contractor versus if you are a regular salaried staff. So a lot of people go the contractor route just because the hours does not equal the pay. When you look at, let's say you are a first year staff and you're making around $50,000 to $55,000 a year but you're working these crazy hours. It just does not add up. So we're gonna do some quick math right now. We're just gonna say $55,000 is your starting salary, right? Before taxes, that means you're coming in at $4,583 a month. And I'm not, like I said, this is pre-tax. I don't know where you live. I'm just giving general numbers. We're gonna divide that by 4. That means weekly you should be making about $1,145.83. Now let's go ahead and divide that by, I'll just use the 50-hour mark. So 50 hours, that means that you are making like $22.91, close to 92 cents. So now let's break that down even further. Now let's say that you are making that $1,145 a week, right? Let's divide that by 60 hours. That means you're making like $19 an hour. For the amount of work that is being given to you, it's really not that much, especially because there are contractors who are hired that make more than us. There are contractors coming in that are making like $45 an hour, and then anything that they work after 40 hours, that is time and a half. So that gets them to like $60 an hour, you know? I know this from experience because I've worked with contractors. So when usually contractors' hours are a bit more strict, but they're still making a good, they're still reaching the 50, 55, 60-hour mark. And especially when filing week, during filing week, you're working until you're working. Like, you throw out that 55 hours a week, you're gonna work until the work gets done, especially during filing week, if you're an accelerated filer or not. So at that point, contractors are making bank versus us regular salaried staff. It literally ends up being like you're working, like making $15 an hour at that point, right? I think that that causes public accounting to be toxic. The next thing is the fact that it is kind of pushed down your throat that you need to do the CPA. Like, I know people who have done the CPA and that they've completely switched their career and they don't even need the CPA. Yes, the CPA is good. Yes, it does help you with increased salary. You get the bonus, but I feel like sometimes people, especially in public accounting, are just pressured to do it. Even if you don't want to do the CPA, even if you're not ready to study, like people like me, I get testing anxiety, but I remember when I first started coming out of college, I felt like I needed to do the CPA, and even now I don't have my CPA yet, and sometimes I feel bad. I feel like I'm behind in my career just because there's people coming out of college, people still in college getting their CPA, and I'm still here. Like, it took me about a year to decide if I even wanted my CPA or not, because I really kept going back and forth, like if I really wanted to pursue the CPA, because I didn't even know if I wanted to stay in public accounting longer than a year. So yeah, having the CPA pushed down your throat, I don't think that that is fair, because there's some of us who want to do other things. Like, there's other certifications out there, and not everybody wants to be in public accounting forever. This is for accounting majors specifically. The fact that colleges push that you need to work in public accounting when you graduate, I think that that is so wrong. I didn't realize that there were other accounting areas that I could go into after graduating. I thought that I needed to pursue public accounting, and the fact is public accounting is competitive. Like, a lot of people get public accounting jobs, but it is still super competitive, especially with the Big Four. And that's one thing at Penn State that was pushed down our throats, like Big Four, Big Four, Big Four. There's other firms, like you could work for mid-tier firms, you could work for like really small firms, you know, you can go into internal audit, you can just be a regular staff accountant. And that's one thing that I think is toxic, to tell people that you need to work for a public accounting firm or that you need to work for the Big Four especially. The next one is the fact that you need to stay. I think that that is so wrong. I don't think that you need to stay in public accounting. You stay in as long as you feel like you can. People are different. Some people burn out quicker than others. Guys, like, I burnt out my first year in public accounting just because of so many factors. Like, besides the fact that it was a brand new job, of course, trying to adjust, like going from being a college student to being an employee now and being an adult. On top of that, I was in the middle of planning my wedding, and then I had a lot of health issues going on, and then busy season came along. It was just a whole lot, and I burnt out. I feel like it's like pushed down your throat that like you can't leave. You need to stay at least 2 years. You need to stay until you make senior. Like you need to stay until you make manager. And I know like there was a couple of big fours were pushing that you can bank your bonus from like when you get promoted to senior, you can bank in that bonus, meaning that you, instead of you getting your bonus when you get promoted to senior, you hold off until you get promoted to manager. But what happens if you don't get promoted to manager? What happens if you decide to leave before becoming manager? You literally lost that money. So I think like the whole thing that you need to stick it out in the big four or in public accounting in general, like you need to stay up until you make senior. You need to have like 2 years, 3 years of senior experience. No, I just think that that is totally wrong. I left after my first year. I did the best that I could, and like I said, like it wasn't that I didn't want to keep working at the big four, but just my health and other life issues that was going on did not permit me to do it. And I went into internal audit and I fell in love with it, and I can't wait to go back to internal audit one day. That's just me, right? So I think the whole fact that you need to stay in public accounting, I think that that's bogus, and I think that that is super toxic, because then you get people in situations that they're put on a performance improvement plan and then they end up getting fired. So another thing that I find toxic in public accounting is, okay, how can I put this? So just quick background so I can get my thoughts together. Pretty much the hiring process goes, a lot of people go into recruiting and recruit within like their schools and stuff. So like if you were in the same frat and stuff and you have that in common, that could get you hired at a firm, right? So I think like it's a good thing and then it's a bad thing, because everybody has the same mentality. I think something that's detrimental is the fact that you get other people that come in and like might not necessarily mesh well with the team because they have different mindsets or just different cultures, different backgrounds, and then it's kind of like people are not working well together, and then it trickles on that mindset that it's like every man for themselves. Like you need to save your butt. Like yes, you need to take ownership of your work, but not to the point where it detriments other people's growth. And I've dealt with that firsthand, where I've worked with seniors and other people who were at the firm before I was or something, or who were interns with the same team, so they came back on, and it's just kind of like everybody has that mentality of like not really wanting to help the other people. So like if you have questions and stuff, they don't really help you, and then when you're getting reviews, it's like pretty much negative reviews, but then it's like every man for themselves, like everybody's saving their own butt and kind of just putting you down the line. And I've talked to other people who have also experienced this. So like I think there's a few seniors and managers and even partners that I work with who are really, really good, but I think a lot of the public accounting industry is literally like save your butt, save yourself, not really so wanting to help people really, really grow and do their best, especially if you come into a firm like without having interned there before and stuff. It's really, really hard. So those are a few things that I thought were toxic that I wanted to highlight for public accounting. Let me know what other things that you find that you have heard that is toxic within the public accounting environment. And like I said, I love public accounting. That's how I got started in my accounting career. However, I just think that there's a couple of things that people don't really touch on that I wanted to highlight. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you've gotten this far, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.